Hey there, I'm Matt, co-founder at Helpt.
And I'm David, co-founder at Helpt.
And this is the Cool Kids Table.
This isn't your typical industry podcast. We sit down with MSPs, vendors, and channel pros to swap stories, share real insights, and have a little fun.
You'll get expert takes along with sports debates and some class clown moments. It's part grade school nostalgia and part real talk about what's going on in business.
No scripts, no sales pitches, just a real lunchroom conversation.
So grab your tray and let's hang out at the Cool Kids Table.
Welcome to the Cool Kids Table podcast. I'm Matt, one of the founders here at Helpt, and I'm co-hosting with my co-founder who looks like he's in some sort of a Halloween costume, David.
Hello, everybody. Today, in honor of Jim being on the show, I figured I would professional it up a bit, be an overachiever. Jim is the president and CEO at RSPA and author of the walk-on method. Jim, can you tell us about yourself and RSPA?
Yeah, gentlemen, thank you for having me here. I feel like I had to say Matt and then Mr. Sohn, right? I have to talk to the principal. So I'm Jim Roddy, president and CEO of the Retail Solutions Providers Association. We're North America's largest community of value-added resellers, software providers, payment companies, hardware manufacturers, and distributors serving retail, restaurant, and grocery of over 750 member companies that all work together and work on going to market together and providing the best value that we can. I was volunteer for about 14 years, and I've been a full-time employee for the last 6 years. So it's been a great community that I'm thrilled has been a big part of most of my professional career.
Back before the professional career, I know you have some background in sports and you're also a very entertaining guy. Were you sitting with the jocks? Were you one of the class clowns? Were you one of the studious overachiever sorts? What table were you sitting at?
I went to a very tiny high school. We were so small, I graduated third in my class, but I was not in the top 10%. So you do the math there. We only had 15 kids in the class. So we pretty much sat around one table, right? The entire senior class could fit at one table. It was actually a kindergarten through 12th grade school. And so it was funny, like I knew on a first name basis many third graders because it was that small.
What was that like? Was there a cafeteria? Was there a lunchroom? Do you have the lunch lady experience that we all had?
No, you had to bring your own lunch. We had no cafeteria at all. We ate mostly in the social studies room, but it really helped me develop in terms of everybody had to do everything there. I played on all the sports teams, and then for the school play, I helped sell tickets. I would do the light crew, and then because they didn't have enough actors, sometimes I would come down for the light crew and I'd be on stage. I was class president. You know, a lot of times kids in big high schools have to specialize. Everybody was drafted to everything, right? So any opportunity you wanted to have, if you wanted to seize it, it was there for you.
How many of the 15 votes did you get?
I don't know. I wasn't able to count the votes, but you know, that's what I guess I can say. I ran for class president. I only got 8, but that's all that you needed in our school.
Okay, so what's in your lunchbox today?
Let me open that up. We have some Doritos, some apple juice. There's no meat in here because I am a vegetarian. I've been a vegetarian for the past almost quarter century. And it's something was never in my lunchbox before. My parents would not buy Funyuns, probably because they read the nutritional facts on the back.
I didn't know you were a vegetarian. What prompted that?
When I was 32 years old, I was diagnosed with colon cancer. And everybody would look at my chart, they'd look at me, and they'd be like, "You're too young to have this." And I'd go, "But here we are." Had a great renowned surgeon, and the best he could come up with is, why did I have colon cancer? He said, garden variety bad luck. The best I could figure was diet. I ate a ton of red meat. Ever since then, I changed my diet. It also helps that my wife is a vegan, and so it makes it a lot easier at home. And our daughter is a vegetarian. It makes it really hard to eat at a trade show, but it makes it really quick when you go to a restaurant. It narrows down the menu to about 10% maybe what's available.
That also explains why out of the 3 of us, you're the most fit. So it's working.
So do you have any idea what we're going to do today?
I'm not just a guest. I'm also a viewer of your show. So I do understand there's a whole bunch of questions here, and I take pride in my preparation, and I am not prepared for this. So we will see how it goes.
Perfect. Which one do you want to start with?
Since I'm a big sports fan, jock for 100, Alex.
In sports, the scoreboard tells the winning story. In business, it's more challenging. How do you define a win for yourself or for RSPA these days?
What ties in with our mission statement, if there's anything that we can do to accelerate the success of our members, that is a win. There's a lot of associations that quite frankly can slow people down, right? It becomes just a lot of work or a lot of things to try to navigate through the member directory or anything like that. We do have a member directory, but we also provide one-on-one white glove service to our members. So we will dive in and specifically understand their needs. If there's anything we can do to help shortcut their path to success, that is what we consider a win for sure.
Are you tracking how much an RSPA member on average grows revenue-wise relative to the rest of the industry? Like, do you have ways to know that you're succeeding measurably?
Most of our members are private companies, so they're not willing to share specific growth rates. We do have a KPI study that we do every year, but everybody submits that anonymously. We do measure a ton. I'm a big fan of the business aphorism. If you can measure it, you can manage it. First is overall membership, right? We are now 760 member companies. I can remember about 5 years ago, that overall number began with a 4, right? We were in the high 400s. So we have grown that much over the last half decade. That is one thing that we see as membership growth. And a big part of that is membership retention. So we are always shooting for somewhere north of 91% membership renewal and membership retention. That to us is showing a sign of success. I could go on with a lot of other KPIs we have, but those are two big ones.
How about another question?
Let's stick on the 100 and go with overachiever.
RSPA unites VARs, ISVs, and vendors across retail. What's one thing you think the best performing companies in that mix consistently do right?
The most engaged RSPA members tend to be the most successful companies. I talked about this on stage at RetailNOW. We do our annual member survey and we get feedback from our members. What do we do well? How can we do better? They also share with us all the member services that they are embracing as well. So we went back to those who are most engaged and we said, are you willing to share with us some metrics? If you said yes, and their metrics were unbelievably good. They were all things that they were happy for us to put up on stage. And I can guarantee you 90+% of the audience was jealous. I've always said, if you're a business leader, you're not going to find the right answer by staring up at the ceiling tiles. You know, Eureka, it came to me. It's engaging with other people, similarly situated, somebody who might challenge you, and they will help show you the path. And so that's a big thing that we see. Those who get out of their comfort zone into their courage zone, and they reach out and they're honest with other folks and say, I'm struggling with this, or how do I take advantage of this opportunity? They will find the answers. One thing I've always said, it's perfect because we have this school setting here, is in school, you're not allowed to cheat. You can't look off somebody else's paper. But in business, if you say, can you show me your paper? Someone will go, sure, yeah, let me tell you how I solved this problem. Why don't we as business leaders do that? I think because of all the years in school, it was like nuns slapping your knuckles saying, don't ask somebody for the answer. But in the business world, they, take it out of context. Cheating is legal. Those who do that consistently, they are the ones who have the most success.
I think it's really easy for businesses that are reasonably successful to just maintain the status quo. They're happy with how things are going. They don't feel the need to take a risk or make a change. But what happens is that there's always some competitors that are doing something to improve. So you need to keep swimming ahead so that you're not falling behind.
Amen. One of my favorite books is Disrupt You. And it talks about disrupting your own business before somebody else does, right? You better disrupt yourself or else someone's going to take your customers from you with their business model. Let's go with 𝐷𝐿 for 200.
You've seen your share of underdogs, from college basketball to writing the walk-on method. What's one lesson from that mindset that shaped how you lead?
The one thing about underdogs is they have to believe that they can get it done. That's going back to my book that you mentioned, the walk-on method. Everybody found that they weren't the tallest, the fastest, the strongest. Again, oftentimes they were the shortest, the slowest, the skinniest, but they said, I have to find something special that I can bring to this team to make my own niche. And that's what I think you find with a lot of underdogs. They figure out a way. And one thing that I realized is I went through and interviewed 30 underdogs who became extraordinary for the walk-on method. It's almost a benefit to not have all those advantages, right? Because if you have all those advantages, just lean on your strengths. When you run into an obstacle, you don't know how to go around it. Roberto Benigni is an actor who won a Tony Award. He said, my parents gave me the greatest gift, poverty, right? He said, I had to figure out everything. I think that mindset, just always saying, I'm going to figure out a way, I have to figure out a way, and I will figure out a way. You just keep coming and keep going and do whatever it takes.
Door closes, open a window. That's
correct. Do whatever you have to. If you got to chisel through the wall in order to get through, I guess you better start chiseling. Keep going with 𝐷𝐿 for 300, please.
In your book, The Walk-On Method, it's all about ordinary people accomplishing extraordinary things. What's something extraordinary you've accomplished in your career?
It's hard to say something that I've accomplished because I really believe in it takes a community kind of thing. So I will say I get a lot of positive feedback, especially at our RetailNOW show, where people say, you did a great job with the show. I play a very, very small part in doing that. I'm fortunate that I get to be the front man, right? I get to be on stage and, hey, welcome everybody. But it really is a community. And I go all the way back to the first time I ever engaged with the RSPA community. It was the winter conference. It wasn't even called Inspire at that point. I didn't know anybody. But Mark Olson, the now retired president of APG Cash Drawer, he just pulled up a chair next to me. He'd never met me before. And he said, tell me about you. Tell me about what you want to accomplish. And I'm like, I had just become company president. He was a successful company president for 20 years. I started picking his brain. The rest of that event, Mark was like, hey, you got to meet this Jim Roddy guy. He's a great guy. Hey, I want you to meet so-and-so. He introduced me to so many people there and really helped because I was not naturally good at doing that. Mark Olson did an unbelievable job, and this community has really helped follow that pattern. An incredibly generous, giving business community, which oftentimes those words are not all used in the same sentence, right? Business is cutthroat. This is a kind, generous community. So if there's anything that I've accomplished, it's because I get to be part of an extraordinary community with extraordinary people. We'll do Overachiever for 500.
The RSPA community brings together companies that might normally compete. What's the secret to turning competitors into true collaborators?
Show the competitor how their other competitors collaborating with other people works for them, and they will fall in quickly. Once they see that somebody else is beating them to the punch because they're leaning on other partners, they will adapt course.
It's the cheating on the homework thing. They see that they can cheat off someone else and it benefits them. They're willing to let someone cheat off them.
Do Class Clown for 500.
You wake up in a full Freaky Friday situation. You've swapped lives with someone else. Who is it? And how much chaos are you causing before they get their life back?
Victor Wembanyama, who's a 7'5" all-star for the San Antonio Spurs, and he can handle, he can shoot. I would love to play a little ball in that body for a little bit. It'd be fun.
You have one game in Wembanyama's body. How are you playing?
All I'll say is I'm not coming out. I would stay in the game.
Oh, I love it. It looks like you have 1,800 points. Matt, did I do my math right?
Yes, this time you did your math right.
Awesome. This is our leaderboard as it stands.
Wow, I don't have a chance.
You could be number 2 class clown or number 3 most athletic.
Well, I'm going to have to bet it all, I guess. In this industry, I would hope to be most athletic.
From homeless teen to 6-time NBA All-Star and Olympic gold medalist, this grinded out player was drafted by the Chicago Bulls in 2011.
Scottie Pippen, correct?
No, drafted in 2011.
Oh, 2011.
So that's almost like Scottie Pippen Jr.
Wait, 6-time NBA All-Star and Olympic gold medalist. Oh, I was thinking 6-time NBA champion. Boy, I mean, I want to say Derrick Rose.
Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler. This is how I should have known that answer. One of the guys I profiled in my walk-on book, Rob Frazina, was a walk-on at Marquette and played with Jimmy Butler, and they are still on a texting friend basis. He says Jimmy Butler was an awesome teammate. Good question. Good stumping question.
What's the version of playoff Jimmy? Like, when do you need to be in the clutch and showing them all that you've got?
I would say you can put playoff in front of the first name of all of our team members for the RSPA. When RetailNOW comes around, that is a super intense, all the build up to it. And then the actual days of it, like we have to be performing and we have to be very well oiled and communicated and have as much planned as we can. And you can't plan everything because something is going to go wrong. But everybody is in this mode of being super intense prepared. And it very much does feel like you're back in a game.
I'll say for this most recent one, whoever came up with the idea of having the coffee and donut station at the RSPA booth, that's your MVP from this past season.
That thing went over huge. That goes back to, again, that collegial style, right? Where you just ask people, here's the problem, find their solutions. If you're the team and everybody, the team is on the same page philosophically and knowing what the outcomes are, then you're going to get to the outcomes that you want. You do not have to have all the ideas because everybody's moving in the same direction.
That's exactly the most important thing. All right, well, you survived the lunchroom cast. You've officially earned your seat at the Cool Kids table. Where can everybody find you?
I'll give you my email address from the RSPA. First initial J, the last name Roddy, R-O-D-D-Y. So D as in dog, D as in dog. J Roddy at GORSPA.org. We're a nonprofit, so it's .org. And then the social media profile that I am most active on is LinkedIn. And so just look for my name, Jim Roddy. You see my face right now. So there's not a lot of Jim Roddys floating around out there, but I'd be happy to connect with you. Just mention Matt, David, mention Helpt, mention the Cool Kid podcast, and I'd be more than happy to connect with you and send you a free couple chapters of the walk-on method if you mention this show.
If we send an email to playoffjimmy@gorspa.org, do you think it'll reach you?
It'll get bounced. We'd have to raise everybody's membership rate to pay for Playoff Jimmy.
Worth it. Worthwhile investment. Well, Jim, thank you. We really appreciate you being on, and thanks for playing.
Thank you guys very much. Great hanging out with you.